Hello, I'm Gay Lisby.
And I'm Gary Ruddy. Welcome to Tribe Talks.
Tribe Talks is a series of heartfelt moments with members of Amazon Seller Tribe where we're pretty transparent, aren't we, Gary?
Yeah, we are, Gay, because really 50% of life is if. If you actually spell out the word, half of it is just a chance. And then after that, it's how we respond to it.
You know, that's right, Gary. And here at Tribe Talks, we want listeners to be inspired by other Amazon sellers to overcome their own self-imposed limitations. And that's why we're doing Tribe Talks. Okay, hey, ladies and gentlemen, another edition of Tribe Talks. Thanks for being with us today. We have a good friend, Lainey Rennerson, with us. And although she's quite a bit younger than me, she is knocking things out of the park with Amazon selling because she's one of those kinds of people who just will not quit. A lot of people want to build a business. A lot of people want to build a business on Amazon, but they just don't have that persevering spirit. And I found a young lady who does, and I want her to visit with us today. So welcome to Tribe Talks, Lainey Rennerson.
Thank you.
So basically, let's just get started with how you got started, how and why you got started in the Amazon space. My understanding was you had a business before this, and now you come into the Amazon space, but tell us how and why. Take us back to that time.
Years ago, 10 years ago, I was great at couponing. And so that was it drove my desire to find deals. And so a member on here who invited me to the tribe started kind of talking to me about it. And they actually pretty much taught me how to do it just out of the kindness of their heart. And so it was just a fun thing in the beginning. And it became something that I kind of got addicted to, like finding the deals and, finding what would sell the best. And then it became a supplemental income for our family. And so I think at first it was just fun. And I mean, it's still fun to me now to find a deal. But I think in the beginning, it was kind of I was just toying around with it and trying to figure it out. And then, hours of trying to figure out how to send stuff in FBA and just learning that process, it kind of just built that foundation of this is something I could do.
So you're a good deal finder, right?
Yes, I love a good deal.
You love a good deal, and you know how to find a good deal. And it is kind of, so this is called arbitrage, right? So when you're in the store and you're scanning in the store and you find something that's XYZ price and you can flip it over on Amazon for XYZ price and have a profit, or do it online, go to those stores online and buy that way. It really kind of becomes a drug, doesn't it?
It does. It does. My husband didn't quite understand it in the beginning. He was like, are you really doing this again? Because couponing to him was a no interest. He had no desire. He's like, we don't need any more shampoo and conditioner. Stop buying it. And this in the beginning, he really didn't understand either. So now he's gotten a little bit of a taste for it. So yeah, it is a drug. It's always wanting to find something and shop at the next place to see if you can find a better deal.
Exactly. Or when you find that great deal, at a certain store, then go to 5 or 6 other stores just like it and get the same thing, right? So you have children. Tell me about your children.
I do. I have 3 girls. They are 13, 8, and my baby will be 5 tomorrow.
And so while you're building your business, you probably have a nanny and a really, nice setup where the nanny's taking care of the children and doing all of the household duties for you while you're building your business, right?
No, not at all. In fact, our kids kind of know business just because my husband owns a business. And so they've kind of been raised in that format of knowing that we work all the time and a lot. And so they actually love to shop for Amazon stuff. So we kind of just take them along. I've been doing this since 2015, 16. So my baby was little. And so you just kind of figure out ways how to do it. Have the older one help entertain the younger one in the cart or push them in the stroller or give them an extra scanner and act like they're doing something. So you just kind of figure out now that they're home from school, I have them boxing stuff and packing it and, pulling the tape off the priority boxes. So we kind of just, I don't know, I think it helps them so much learn like hard work is okay. Like it's good. That's how we function as a family, I think.
Yeah, and that it's okay for families to work. It's okay for families to work together.
Work hard, right?
Yes, and it's nothing wrong with working hard. You're going to spend your time doing something, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's got the same 24 hours. So I think that it's important for children to understand how economics works as well. You know, the very basics is buy low, sell high, right?
Yeah.
And once they get that in their minds, they're always looking for those good deals too, aren't they?
My two older, even the youngest one now, but my two older ones, if we go in a store, they're like, Mom, will this make money? Mom, will this make money? So they don't ask for stuff for them as much anymore. They kind of want to know if it makes money. So my oldest is I'm kind of giving her a budget to where she can flip some money and kind of help and make some money packaging and stuff. So for her, it's more fun that way.
That's awesome. Yeah, and she's probably going to be ready for her own smartphone and her app, and she's going to be ready to go help you scan through stores, isn't she?
For sure.
I mean, 13-year-olds are very capable of that. So what I like about that is that this is a kind of business that doesn't involve you having to build a team or you having to recruit people into your system or something like that, but that you can actually build a business from home as a young mother.
Right.
So tell me how that has impacted your life there in your home. You and your husband, he's got his own business, but you're there in the home with the children. And, you know, let's be honest, I was a mother of young children at one point, and there's only so much of the day you can spend holding their hand and telling them how darling they are.
Right. I think for us, it's just been, I've always tried to find a way. I mean, even though I have a job and I've worked, you know, our whole marriage, I've always tried to find a way to bring supplemental income in for stuff that we enjoy doing, traveling, or I have girls, so they're expensive. I like to have everything matching. And so for me, it was beneficial because I wasn't taking money out of our budget. And I was able to flip money. And I think for me, it was just staying home and being able to help provide for our family in different ways and not having to go pick up an extra shift at the hospital. So that's or pay off an extra debt. You know, we don't really have debt, thankfully, besides a house and cars, but like being able to pay, you know, get new furniture or something, just setting a goal for myself. And I think that is just it's just inside of me, that whole like drive for like trying to do something better and showing my girls that, you know, like just having a 9-to-5 job isn't what is going to get you, you know, you're working for someone else and you're benefiting them to their empire, right? And you're building their business instead of your own personal business. And that's kind of what we've instilled in our girls. They've really never known my husband to work a 9-to-5 job. And so he's a worship leader and a youth pastor, but that's kind of like his part-time job. He owns a business. So like they've always seen him home when he needs to be home. So for us, that's huge and beneficial, as if my girls have something, we don't miss it. And so that was a huge thing for me. Like, I don't want to miss my girls' stuff because I have to be at work.
That's right.
So being able to be home and using this as a huge supplement for that is great.
Right. And, you know, what's amazing about Amazon, selling on Amazon, is a person can do it as a side hustle or a side gig if they want, or they can build it all the way up to a multiple $1 million business, right?
Right.
Sure. It's just what suits you at your time in your life.
Yeah. And I've had huge seasons. I mean, this is definitely the biggest season that I've ever had. And it's a huge thanks to the tribe, because before I felt like I was driving my friend nuts asking her questions like, would you buy this or would you buy that? Or, you know, I was gated in so many things in the beginning that I couldn't buy much. And so it was hard to find stuff in retail. I didn't understand online arbitrage. I felt like every time I went to do it, I failed. And so for me, for probably the first 4.5 years, it was very play. You know, I might shop for 2 days or 3 days and, you know, send in 30 things, and then I might not shop for weeks. So I think being in the tribe is huge, and understanding the vastness of it and how you can do it a little bit, or you can do it a lot, or you can kind of just be in between.
So it did cast a vision for you.
Absolutely. Well, and you see so many different people in so many walks of life doing different things, and then you have different ideas from different people. There's so many, I feel like there's so many resources in the tribe that you can access that kind of, if I had a question about something, I just can search in there or watch videos and stuff. And so many more people who are experienced at doing it, it's kind of helped a lot.
What would you say are some of the valleys that you've struggled with as you've looked toward building your business? One of them would be that you really didn't know what was a good buy, and you're kind of floating around out there by yourself. Now you're in Amazon Seller Tribe, and that's sort of been cured for you. But what other valleys have you gone through, or maybe obstacles that you've overcome, maybe mindset obstacles even that you've overcome?
I think time, like in my head thinking that I don't have enough time, or that I didn't, like if I shop at 5 places and I come up with 0, I mean, one of the girls on here who's helped me a lot, I would be like so frustrated because, I might scan for 3 hours and come up with nothing. And so then I'd get discouraged, and she's like, you just have to keep scanning. And I'm like, but I don't understand, so overcoming that, and then you find that one item. Like recently we found one item that just sells and sells and sells, and we can't even keep it in stock. And I'm like, this is what it's all about. Like, this is what she's talking about. Like, you just have to scan until you find that one item that works for you, that there's not 400 sellers on, and that you can just restock. And so I think it's just consistency. I had to learn consistency, overcoming that. And, with some personal valleys, I had to be okay with, during the time that my parents died, letting it go a little bit and not being on top of it, and that being okay. And that's what's so good about this, is like, if you have to step back, no one else is going to be hurt in the business but you, right? So like, if it's okay, you don't have time, you're not hurting anyone else besides, you're not really hurting your family, but I'm saying you're not hurting anyone else, right? Unless you have employees. But, most of the people who have employees have a business that's running. But for me, stepping back was okay. And being able to like have that mindset that like, when I have time and I'm better mentally, then I can come back to it.
Right. And that is a wonderful thing about selling on Amazon. So there is some flexibility there. You can build your lifestyle around it. And so, we're constantly saying, creating the life you really want to live. Because some people get caught in a business, and then the business dictates for them what kind of life they have to live. And that can be a sort of bondage.
Yes, for sure.
So mindset that you brought, that you've really perfected, I guess, as you've grown your business, is that perseverance and consistency. ABS, always be scanning.
Right. I mean, I will say I still struggle with it. If I have something that, you buy and you think it's going to sell, and then Amazon jumps on it, it's discouraging. But then I've just found that, like, I just kind of put that to the side and wait, and then, see if it sells later, or, just move on. And so I think overcoming that was huge for me. Like, I invested this money, and now I'm either going to lose money a little bit, or I'm going to have to return the item. That was something that I had to overcome. Like, that's okay. Like, you're going to have losses, but you're going to have way more gains than you do losses.
So many people stop themselves from moving forward to building a business because they're afraid of loss. But loss is just a part of life, isn't it?
Very much so.
I mean, we lose things all the time, and I'm not talking just car keys. We lose a lot of things, a lot of different times, but it doesn't make us quit living, or shouldn't make us quit living. I like how you said that you just put that aside. So if there was a product that you found and you thought this is really going to work, but it didn't work out, and then you just put it aside. You set it aside. You were able to categorize that in your mind, set that one aside, and look for that new winner. Right. Because there's always going to be another new winner, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
So one of the things that, drew me to you as you got into Amazon Seller Tribe is you weren't afraid to ask questions. You were asking questions a lot. And how did you feel when you first did that? Were you a little bit awkward with that, a little bit shy with that, or did you feel like this wanted to do?
What's funny is I kind of connected with one person in the group, and she would be like, ask the group so other people could know. And I'm like, oh, I feel so weird asking like very basic questions that I thought to other people who have been doing this for a long time. it seems like very basic questions because I didn't do FBM at all. I was just doing FBA. So that was a whole new realm for me. So some of the stuff that I dealt with, that the returns and stuff like that, or losing a package, I didn't really know what to do with that. And so, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like, I guess I like to read everybody's questions, but I'm not huge on posting them, but they're very helpful. And I guess when you need a specific question, it's great because everyone pitches in and kind of, and you usually find the answer pretty quick that you're looking for.
Right. And that's one of the things that we've tried to do with Amazon Seller Tribe is create a safe and welcoming environment where anyone at any level of selling can come in, all the way from someone who's never even signed up to sell on Amazon before. Maybe they haven't even opened their account, all the way to those who are doing multiple millions. And I think with business, there's always something to learn. And that's probably something that kind of can be off-putting to some people because they're like, just give me 5 things that I have to know and I want to do it over and over again. But the truth is that's not the life of an entrepreneur, is it?
Right. No, definitely not.
Yeah, you got to be learning, and it's okay to ask those questions and to learn in Amazon Seller Tribe. And that's why we're very welcoming when new people come in, and we're hopeful they will ask questions because I was telling some people the other day, there's stuff that I've forgotten that I know that I just do automatically, that I just do unconsciously, really. And unless somebody asks me that question, then I don't really remember to bring that up and teach that point. So all those really great questions makes opportunity for us to have teachable moments with tribe members. So there's a value in that, isn't there?
Absolutely, definitely. And I feel like the fear is gone now for asking questions.
Right. It fades in a hurry, I hope. So let's talk about how well did you do in selling on Amazon, say in 2019? And then let's talk about where you are right now. But let's talk about 2019 first.
So 2019, I looked a few months ago at what my total sales were for our taxes. And I was very surprised that I even sold as much as I did because I wasn't finding a whole lot. I didn't join the tribe until December. So I definitely wasn't doing any online arbitrage, but I did a lot of retail, but wasn't finding a whole lot. And so my total sales for 2019 was $8,000.
Gotcha.
So not very much. And my profit margin probably I wasn't keeping up with it. So it probably sometimes wasn't even, I don't even know, 10, 20% by the time I paid fees and to ship it to FBA. But there wasn't I knew there was a better system. I just didn't know where it was. And so I knew that I had to find something, and I didn't even know where to reach, but Amy Fountain is the girl who kind of pulled me in and was like, hey, this is where I'm going. And this has a bunch of great information. And so that's when I joined.
That's awesome. And so since that time in December, and you came into Amazon Seller Tribe, what has happened to your business since then?
Well, it's continually increased. January, February, a little bit slower, just trying to figure out how to do online, and then realizing that prices change sometimes online. So by the time you get the items in, sometimes the profit isn't as huge. So learning that and how to tweak that and figure out which items were better. So that was a learning process, but my sales still increased because I was thinking about it all the time. So, when you get your daily list and then you get the other emails that I'm getting from y'all and the coaching and stuff like that. So I was always thinking about it and thinking about the next product. And so my sales increased. And then during, once the quarantine happened and y'all started teaching on what products to buy and what to look for, with a little bit of guidance from a few members, we just started buying. And I am reluctant to spend a lot of money just because we've had some business, things happen in the past. And so I'm a little guarded on spending a lot of money at one time. And so that's kind of my downfall, and I'm trying to overcome that. And I think I have overcome it in the past few weeks. But so I just told my husband, I'm like, look, I'm just going to do it and we'll just see where it goes. And he was like, okay. And so we bought like, I think 150 items and picked them up from a store, and they sold within like 36 hours. And I was like, oh, what do we do now? So I had to learn how to package FBM really quick. And right. And so then I was having to trying to figure out where to find these products. And so for that, we've sold in the last 2 months alone, we've had a rolling $4,000 to $5,000 per month. And so our sales are already this year have well over, I think this month alone we'll probably hit 8,000 to 10,000 in sales in May. So, which is crazy.
So you're likely to go in 1 month what you made all of last year.
Yes.
Very possibly. You're in striking distance of that. You know, so this is exciting for me when somebody catches the vision for growth, for building their business. Now, you were kind of, you know, throwing stuff at your business just a little bit here and there in 2019. You weren't being consistent. You come into Tribe and Amazon Seller Tribe, we're all moving the same direction, you know, and we may be, you know, not necessarily moving at the same speed or whatever. Everyone comes in with a different amount of capital that they can spend on inventory, but we're all really moving the same direction. And so it's easy to kind of go when you have people who can go with you. And that is making a big difference in your sales. And I like what you said, that it's keeping it in your mind. So you're thinking about it, you're looking for that next deal, you're looking for that. And aren't those deals sweet when you find that one sweet product and you can ride that dude, you know, several hundred units, several thousand units. And for some of our sellers, you know, they've been able to scale to several thousands of units.
Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I will say my husband is on board. As of when the quarantine started, he was like, his business kind of took, you know, everyone's small businesses take a huge hit. No one, he imports stuff, and so no one's wanting to import anything right now. And so he was like, you know what, I'll do the shopping, which is my favorite part, honestly. I like to go shop. But and so once the stores started opening back up and it wasn't as scary to go in the stores, he has been finding the items. And so he's been a part of, he finds them and he mails them. And so I do the other parts. But so he's on board now, which is huge, because for so long I felt like I was pulling him, you know, and he was just pulled in too many different directions. He was like, I just don't have time to learn it. And so little by little, like he changed the price yesterday. I was like, did you do that? Because you've never done that before.
Taking initiative in the business.
Yeah, so he's learning it too. So that's the fun part. That's kind of why I wanted to do it. I wanted us to do it together. We have a place to ship stuff, and so I was like, we can do this together. And so finally, I feel like he's gotten the vision and understand. It does help that we have a really good product selling, so he's able to see it move fast.
That's nice. That's good feedback for him as well. Now, in Amazon Seller Tribe, we have lots and lots of husband and wife teams selling in this space and members of Amazon Seller Tribe. Has that inspired you as well?
Yes. Yeah. And we've always done business together. It's kind of, some people think it's crazy, but we've kind of just always done business together. And I've always had my hand in part of his business. But yeah, I like to work beside him, and I like us to be on the same vision and the same goal. So for me, seeing all these couples like doing, the calls together or just being on there together, it's great to see.
Yeah, awesome feedback. And that's the thing that makes Amazon such a wonderful opportunity, because you can grow a business either by yourself if your spouse is doing something else, or you can grow it with a partner, or in my case, my sister. We have another group in Amazon Seller Tribe, sisters, combining their business skills together. And then we've got brothers, groups of brothers in that Seller Tribe combining their skills together, as well as spouses coming in with their husband or wife and building a business. And so this is the kind of thing that makes us rich and robust in Amazon Seller Tribe. And then you were able to relate, because it wasn't just one kind of person or one certain person in there. It was all the tribe together. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So tell me where you think you want to go from here in selling on Amazon.
I just love the growth that's happened so far. I actually love the FBM. I don't know why. I think it's because I get to see the items go out, and I don't know. It's hands-on. It kind of gives me a little bit more, like I can replenish when I need to, and I find it a little bit more fun. But I'd love my business to continue to double from here, and I'd love to be able to I mean, I eventually would love to be able to hang up my badge as a nurse. I know some things right now are just crazy in the healthcare industry. And I love what I do. Like, I've done it for a long time, and I have a passion for NICU nursing, but it's just the system itself is broken. And so being able to hang up my badge is something that I've always, in the last probably 5 years, I've wanted to do. So that's kind of my goal, if I can just work from home and
well, a nurse is a very valuable skill, and we're seeing that, of course, with COVID-19. We're seeing that as being, hail worthy and
Right.
hero worthy in many ways. But you're right. There are those times when the system comes against us, and it's not anything we're doing. Like, for example, I was a teacher for years, and the system was really broken there. And so
Right.
the act of teaching was what I thrived on, and you probably thrive on that act of nursing.
Yeah.
But the system that you have to deal with can be just very burdensome. So I understand your desire to move on. And Amazon, I really think, can be that way to bridge that gap and get yourself in a place where you can eventually hang up your badge. Let me ask you this. Your sales by the end of 2019 was 8,000 something.
Right.
What would you like to project in your mind and your heart for the end of 2020?
Goodness. I mean, I would love for ourselves to hit 50,000. I think that would be a huge jump for us. And it may be a small goal because of where we're at right now. But I think that'd be a great goal for us and be a huge, help to my family. So I think 50,000 in sales would be kind of my first goal.
So can I be honest with you?
Sure.
I think you need to increase that by twice. I think you need to say 100,000, because you have the basics and you have what it takes. And there's just a few things that you can do to ramp this up, put this in another gear. And even in spite of the pandemic, in spite of everything that's come against us this year, I really honestly believe that by December 31st, 2020, you're going to say, Gay was right. I should have shot for 100,000 right out of the gate instead of 50,000. Now let's watch this video in December and see if I'm right, because I think I am.
Hey, I'll take it for sure.
So that can change a lot of things for you.
Absolutely. I mean,
give you
I told my husband yesterday that I would love for him. I mean, he loves what he does, but I would love for him to be able to just be home. And so that would be an option if we grew our business that large, to where, maybe one day he could just be doing this with me.
It can absolutely happen. I believe that. Well, Lainey, thank you for the time you spent with me today, just sharing where you've been and where you want to go, and helping people understand that almost anybody can do this. I always say constantly, about me and my sister, if two, middle-aged grandmas can do it, anybody can do it. And we just see people proving it over and over again. So if a NICU nurse who's raising 3 girls and has a husband has another business can do it, you can do it, guys. And Lainey is here to inspire you and to tell you that's absolutely the truth. These are real sellers in real time doing a real business on Amazon. Lainey, thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.